In today's video, I'm going into how to start getting connected with yourself to that intuition. If you're someone that so far hasn't really been noticing or connecting with your intuition and you'd like to get deeper, how do you start? Like, where do you begin? So continuing the theme this week on intuition, I then start to think, well, how do I get connected? What is it? What do I do to become aware of my intuition? And I would say one of the biggest things is trust. That is the first place. So building up that trust with yourself. And how often do you trust yourself? Like, so often I hear phrases like, oh, my body betrayed me, and it's like, oh, your body is you, like you are connected with it. So if your body is betraying you, it's actually sending you signals. It's telling you something. It is giving you information. And it's learning to trust those signals and to hear it. So I'll give you an example of that trust and what I mean by it. And say you have a friend you go to all the time and you start sharing a story with them and they completely ignore you. You're like, well, do I want to continue this conversation? So you quit. And you're like, okay, they completely ignored me. Okay. So you walk away and you come back again and you're sharing something else or you're telling them, they completely ignore you. And again, you're kind of like, okay. So after a while, you're just like, well, I'm not going to share anymore. So that is our relationship with our body a lot of times, where we start, if we're ignoring these signals or never learn to listen, the body doesn't really speak up as much to you, doesn't have that awareness and connection with you until it has such a strong signal that you have to listen. And that's when you start to listen. That's when you're like, oh, my body is doing this because, oh, I haven't listened to the subtler things, and now you have to listen to the big thing that is coming through. So it's building up and listening to the subtler signals so that you're not just suddenly getting hit over the head. Like I say with a friend of mine and I, we talk about, oh, you'll have these little whispers until you're hit over the head with a frying pan. It's like, oh, your body then comes in and says, I'm gonna make you aware there's something going on. So building up that relationship with your body, listening to the subtler signals. So how do you do that? And one of the ways is just a simple body scan or asking your body, how does it feel? And when I say body scan, it's sitting for a few minutes and just starting at the top of your head or starting at your feet and then scanning up and seeing how your body feels in that moment. Do you feel tension? Do you feel different temperature changes? Like if you do this body scan throughout the day, you're like, how's my body now versus where it was earlier? You're becoming more aware of the body, like of it and how it is throughout the day. And like right now, if I do a body scan, I'm like, oh, my lower back is really tight and sore. Oh, okay, why? What is creating this? Well, maybe it's my posture, maybe it's how I'm sitting. And we also stuff our emotions into our body, so it's becoming aware of the different things that we're kind of doing with our body throughout the day. And again, building up that relationship, like building up that knowing, building up an awareness that before would possibly have completely cut off. I know for myself, I spent years working at a computer, years and years, and of course I still work at a computer, but years for 15-hour days or longer or whatever it was, like crazy long hours, and I would have wrist problems and I would have back problems and I would have all these things, but I just ignored it, kind of like, it is what it is, rather than listening to the signals of it and shifting or changing, getting up and moving more and becoming aware and being like, I'm taking care of this now, rather than just ignoring it. Like we kind of stuff it down to be like, it's something I don't need to be aware of or be conscious of. But actually, if you become conscious, you can shift it, you can change it, you can move and do things about it and take care of your body. So why am I emphasizing getting to become conscious of our body and awareness, because that's building up the trust. That is building up this relationship. And then as you have intuitive information come in, signals from your body, you'll be like, oh, I actually noticed this change that I wasn't in previously. There's something going on in my body. What is this? And you can become curious and be more aware of the changes. And like I talked about in the previous video of like, what is this intuition? We're always picking up these signals around us, and our body is so aware and connecting with these things, but we have become conditioned to not listen to it. So it's getting to a place where you're starting to listen again. It's getting to that place where you're building up that relationship with your body and getting connected and building up that trust. So again, building up that trust with doing a body scan, or you can just, again, like I said, ask a question to your body, like, how are you right now? What is going on? Do you have anything you want to share with me? And just see if the body has something that it comes back with. You can hear words, or you can pick up senses or feelings, or if you feel some tightness like in your stomach or your gut or your heart, you can ask specifically, say, hey, what's going on there? Like, can you give me information? And then just see what comes up. So if you're curious to explore more and connecting with the body, building up that trust, you can check out in the dialog box below. I have a link to my Patreon page. And we go further into connecting with your body, further into more different ways so that you can build up this trust with yourself, so that you can build up this awareness, build up this connection, and have a real mind-body connection rather than blocking out things and an unawareness to things in yourself. So again, take a look at that. That's in the dialog box below. And thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe. And thank you. I'll see you in the next video.